All right, what is up, you guys? First off, apologies. It has been a minute. Life has been lifing. I just came from the gym, trying to return back into healthy life things after life be lifing. I have some new packages. You can see this is almost as tall as me. Sitting down. I had a birthday in March. And so we've got some books I got for myself, most books that I got from my friends and my husband because they know me and they know how to buy gifts for me. And then over here, we got a couple boxes of things that I bought for myself, and then the last round of book box subscriptions. So, as I have previously stated, I have too many books. At the end of this, I will put the total up for what we are running at for the unread physical TBR. We are already at 300. There's so many books. It's fine. Everything's fine. But my plan now is I'm going to just keep Fairyloot. I have canceled everything else. And I'm going to try and get through it for the rest of the year. We'll see how much that we can actually knock this down. I'll put this up at the big end of the video. But without further ado, let's get into it. I think I'm going to start with the last couple books that I bought for myself. Birthday gifts, books I bought on my birthday trip, and then getting into the book boxes themselves. Can I save the most exciting bits for last? I'll put that there. Hopefully the audio is okay. First, I'm going to start with something that is so exciting. I got my very first, truly sent to me, requested to see if I wanted to read it, physical ARC. This book comes out in May. It is an intergenerational, let me just read it. So, intergenerational, it is YA debut award-winning author Brian Lee Young bridges a generational divide between a Navajo teen and his great-grandmother in this eye-opening call for community healing and profound coming-of-age story. I am very excited. This comes out in May of this year, so I'll probably bump this up to reading this a little bit sooner rather than later. But I was so excited because I finally got one. I think this was Epic Books. Yeah, Epic Reads, which I've had a phenomenal time reading all the books that I have from them. And they asked me if I would want to be an ARC reader, and I thought that was really exciting. So, next, we have a couple of books that I bought for myself. This is part of the used book sale. I got Spoiler Alert by Olivia Dade. I read Zom Rom-Com by her, and I had a fantastic time. I read it as an e-ARC. Absolutely loved. Didn't realize it was going to be a series, but I liked her writing style, and I was like, I need to try something else from her. Another one that I found, I obviously have not read This Woven Kingdom yet. This is part of a problem. This is also why I'm putting myself on a true book buying ban. I'm keeping Fairyloot because it took so long to get on, but I got These Infinite Threads, which is the sequel to This Woven Kingdom, but I got it on sale as a used book, and it is basically like no one has touched it. It's phenomenal condition. I couldn't resist because it only cost me like $6, I think. Books that I bought myself during my vacation was the volume 1 of the Murderbot Diaries. I have heard such good things about this throughout everyone in the Herkiad community chat, kind of just around on social media, and I was like, oh, you know what? I don't have Apple TV, so I probably won't watch it, but I did want to see what all the excitement was about, and I finally saw the first volume in person, which I hadn't seen yet. Then just a bookmark from the store. And then I got Bloodmarked. Again, still haven't read Legendborn. Really want to, but I own Oathbound because when I originally asked for Legendborn, the person who got it for me as a gift accidentally read the wrong thing, thought that was the first one, found a signed copy, got it for me, and so now I had the first and third. I had to get the second. So if I don't like it, which I doubt, I think I'm gonna love it, I have all 3 versions. And the person in the bookstore was so kind and said, do you want the full price copy or the copy that's 25% off? And there's literally not a single difference to this copy except there's a mark here. I think it just sat there longer. Obviously I'm gonna go for the one on sale. The final one that I bought for myself, I tried to be good and I was told I wasn't allowed to buy anything, was an Arcane Inheritance. I got this as a potential book club book for me and my two best friends that met me on our trip, because we want to start a book club. We hadn't done anything yet, and I like, even on my own birthday, to spoil my best friends and give them presents. Now, onto the books that I got as gifts. So we're going to do kind of the random ones first. Is one, we got This Annoying Life, which is just a mindless coloring book, just out of all the chaos of life. Thought that was cute. I'm counting it as my book haul because it's technically a book. I got How to Raise Chickens, because, listen, I have been on a journey with chickens and the natural mayhem that is things that want to take chickens away. But we still have two that are going strong and they're beautiful, and I want to homestead at some point because that just sounds fun and I'm tired of the planet at this point. I also got a Blissful Coloring Retreat. It is just another very cutesy, single-sided, so I can use my nice markers coloring book, as well as the Forgotten Home Apothecary 250 Powerful Remedies at Your Fingertips. Now, do all of these make sense? Do all of these actually fix anything? No, but I do believe I am in medicine as a career, and I also believe in some homeopathic things and things. Ooh, I'm hitting stuff. Homeopathic remedies, and old wives' tales are old wives' tales for a reason. So I wanted to see this in growing things that could be beneficial to me, even if they're not fully curative. Some things are a stretch when I look through here. Now, on to the fun things. And I'm going to try and keep this in order. I kind of stack these how I grabbed them out of my suitcases from the trip. We drove, so the suitcases were fine. It's all dandy. But my husband got me book 3 of which actually we already talked about. So he got me this, but also I had already bought it. And so this is a duplicate. And so at some point I'm going to trade the second copy in, because sometimes he listened to most of my Barnes & Noble haul when I told him about it and then forgot that I had said this. But on the next one, my mother-in-law spent so much time scouring eBay to find me Daughter of No World hardback pristine edition indie copy. This apparently had like some trials that she went through in order to find it and get the right one, and not some scam reprint. I think she accidentally ordered a Malaysian one to start with, canceled that order, and then found the genuine one. And so I thought that was phenomenal. Everything I have seen, people are selling this for like hundreds of dollars, and she's like, I did not get it anywhere near that. So I'm very excited because I wanted to read the original one. I'm always afraid when things go from indie to trad publishing that they are going to just wreck it, and I didn't want that to happen. The next ones were because I, unlike some, had honestly a very good time with, which one did I read? The Pumpkin Farm? What is it called? The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I don't know why I just had like a complete brain lapse, but I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. I listened to the audio. I had requested the series of it and told my husband I'd already read the first one, and then he accidentally bought me the first one. So we got The Christmas Tree Farm, The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, and The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. So I thought they were a cute, fun read. Obviously they are not the world's greatest literature, but they're a fun time. And sometimes I need a fun time, especially this month. I have been in the worst reading slump. We are in the middle of April and I have not touched a single book. I think I've just been burnt out, and I think a silly little romance is gonna be what gets me back in. Next, and a little too close to home for everything going on the planet, I finally got a Handmaid's Tale, or The Handmaid's Tale. I had been wanting this for a while, and I think I just kept being afraid to buy it because so many things were happening. It felt too real. It felt too disheartening, and I'd had it on my list, and I finally got it for my birthday, and that was really exciting. The next one, I have to kind of move some of these around because I think I would put it on the bottom. Okay, we'll get to those. It's fine. I got books 2 and 3, Foxglove and Wisteria. I had previously bought myself Belladonna. Again, this is partly why I'm on a book buying ban, because I just want books and I want a whole series without reading them. And then if I don't like them, then we have a really bad time. So I am putting myself on a hiatus. Another one I got is I had read The Cruel Prince on an ebook, and I had asked for that series because I thought it was like a good time. I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best thing I'd ever read, but I wanted to know how it ended. He tried really hard to find this series. He couldn't, but he did get me a book that is in that same world. So I will look up to see if I have to read. If you know, do I need to read the rest of the Cruel Prince series in order to read this and understand it / enjoy it fully? Is this like an actual sequel? Or can I just go straight into this? Please let me know in the comments. But my understanding right now is I can just read it. But I haven't looked that hard. I got a lot on my list. The next one I got was The Burning Witch by Delham Hatch. So I am currently in the middle of the House Witch trilogy. I am in the halfway through the book 2. I love the audiobooks of them. They're really well done. They're all indie published, and he found me a separate series, which is, it sounds like it's about the mom of the main character in that House Witch. I didn't even know this existed, and I think that is absolutely wonderful. And I love supporting authors and people who are indie published, and I want to get into more indie published books. And as I say that, let me just verify. It's by Podium Publishing. I'm not sure if that one is an indie one or not. I need to brush up on who's who. But anyways, then I got The Songbird and the Heart of Stone, which is book 1 of the Shadowborn duet. I have not read Carissa Broadbent, but I have heard such good things about all of her series, and so I'm very excited to get into this. And then to finish it, I've seen this everywhere. I've looked at it everywhere. And my husband was encouraged to get things that looked like something that I would enjoy. Next, I'm having a time. I wanted to read the Bloodsworn Saga by John Gwynne. Again, I had heard really good things about it. Unfortunately, he was able to find book 2 and 3, but not book 1. So I still have to go find book 1 in order to read the series. But I did get The Hunger of the Gods and The Fury of the Gods. And now I have to find book 1 and find it hopefully in the same version and in paperback. Instead, he did find me book 1 in the Faithful and the Fallen series, Malice by John Gwynne. So again, I have a problem. Here's hoping I really like this author and how they write, because if not, I'm a little bit hosed. And then for the final ones, which were books that my best friends got me, they also got me a couple other bookish themed items, which I don't have up here. Let me know if you do want to see them. I can make a short or something about it. But my best friends got me remarkably bright creatures. One of them absolutely loved this, and I didn't realize this was coming to Netflix. One thing I will say is I hate when they do this printed sticker. Drives me absolutely nuts. But it also has a cute little fish sprayed edges, so very excited about that. I also got Blood Over Brighthaven by Emma Wong. Again, I have heard phenomenal things also. Look how beautifully just floppy that book is. Absolutely love. Smells like heaven. Very excited for that. And then the final book that I got for my birthday, obviously there are a lot, is The Night and the Moth, because the second one is coming out. My friends have talked really highly about this. They have been begging me to read this, and I just have not had the energy or not really the will. I always have the will to buy books. I have been trying to refrain from buying a lot of books. I mean, obviously we are where we are anyways. But they finally said there's no excuse for getting it for me. So that was all the books that I got for my birthday. I am just very excited and I'm absolutely in love with all of them. But now let's get into a couple of things that I got for myself. So the first two boxes are not books, but they are bookish related that I got for myself. One is, if I can open it, this also ties into something that one of my friends got me because she got me something very similar. So I'm gonna have to kind of dual count. One might be for books I haven't read, but oh, it's in like it's actually very well wrapped. That is well taped Etsy seller. I wanted a shelf and it says books read in a little green, and it comes with a little cat, a little mug, and it has this season, this lifetime, this week, and this year. And so I may put this as like a this season and use this one as a monthly calendar, because one that my best friend got me was books that I have read this year. And so now I'll have two counters and we'll kind of put this into the mix. This is obviously going to get filled up very quickly with all these books that are down here. But I just thought that was really cute. And of course I bought myself something that my best friend then immediately got me. This was because I have to open it from the bottom because my address is on the top. Because I am canceling my owlcrate, I had so many points left and I figured I might as well use it to get myself some bookish related things. So first, I think I ended up paying shipping, so it still ended up being like $20. But I got two different sweatshirts. The first one, because I love Halloween. If you notice, like I will wear my Halloween shirts pretty much year round. But I got the Spooky Season Book Club, and on the back it says reading in peace with a little reaper. And they're reading a book called It's a Ghoul's World. And I just thought that was really cute. And I love a cozy sweater. The other one is kind of not like abruptly, noticeably bookish, but still very cute. I got one of their flower season ones. So it is the lavender. So I just wanted a cute oversized hoodie. And the back says, "We are all part of nature. Someday the world will recognize this." And that was the back. And I think these are both still available on owlcrate's website. They made me mad with their books, but these were cute. And now, speaking of owlcrate, we're gonna get into the boxes. I'm gonna do a little bit different this time. I think I already opened the book of the month in the last video because I got it early and I jumped ahead. I have already received an email from owlcrate that this book is messed up. They said that there was a printing issue, and I believe they said page 267 is entirely missing. They had a misprint, and that they will let us know what the solution is. I hope it's a new book and not just like a page for me to stick into it. What I will say is I requested this book on NetGalley because it sounded so stinking cute. And so it makes it, of course, even more upsetting that things are missing from it. I'm gonna move you a little bit closer just so I can actually show you now that we're into the book part of it. But this one is Agnes Aubert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. I honestly have really enjoyed Emily Wilde and that series. I need to read the last book, but I think her little mystical writing is cute. This book is absolutely beautiful. So we have the front, So cute. And the back says, "A cat is the soul of the home." What you can't see right now is my cat is actually hiding in the corner right now and looking at me because I called on him. And then on the edges, oh, it's just got little cats. Don't look at my face. Little cats on the edges, all around, little bread. Super cute. On the reverse, it is very similar to what I believe is the original cover. So at least kind of same color pattern to it. And then the naked hardcover, also adorable. Also looks like it's going to be a very cute, whimsical book. We've got the front end paper, very well foiled. The back, very glossy. I hate that they do not properly bind the spines. This is an everywhere publishing problem and it is driving me nuts because books that I've had for decades didn't used to be like that. You can probably hear him running around. He's gonna eat food. You may hear him chewing his food in the background. He's such a good neighbor. Some of the glossiness of this print seems a little cheap, but anyways. It does look like we have a true tip-in and an actually signed page, which is wonderful, rather than just being on the letter, but there is a handwritten letter too. Now let's see, is it 267? Oh, it is. They reprinted page 167, so it's not like a missing page. I mean, it kind of is. And of course it goes from like an end of a sentence to something else. You can see it's 266 to 167. So owlcrate, I would say count your days, but your days are already gone. So I don't know what they're gonna do with this. I don't know if I'm gonna be really annoyed if they send like a PDF of the page. Because at no point then you can't really reread this book. I would have to print that page, attach it into the book, and come back to it. So owlcrate has continuously disappointed me, unfortunately. Their books aren't as great of quality. They are constantly repeating other boxes. I don't think they're worth your money. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents though. So you do what you want with your money, but I am not going to give them more of my money. Does that make sense? So now we have Afterlight illumicrate. I also canceled this box, and even though it looks like it should open that way, I always open it wrong. And that's fine. So more papers. We usually have the Afterlight box on top. So let's see, which we do. I have never heard of this. Some of you may have. It is called Starshipped by Cat Sebastian. It's like broken all of my nails. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know why this plastic is so hard to rip today. So it says romantic leads have hated one another since acting got invented. So Starshipped, back. I don't know if I like that they make the Afterlight version so much smaller, and the sprayed edges are really kind of just disappointing. Blue, blue, some sky. Nothing very exciting. I don't think there's no reversible dust jacket. The art is wildly different. This is a naked hardcover and it says out there. So there's the front, there's the back. Let's take a moment. This is the artwork on the cover. This is the artwork on the sleeve. Those look like completely different things. We have the, yeah, again, it's only attached by the end paper. I hate that. End paper 1, end paper 2. This artwork matches this, not this. So I am not a fan. Oh, I didn't even read you. I'll come back to that. So it says, Cat Sebastian's long-awaited foray into contemporary romance, a witty, emotional, and deliciously slow-burn enemies-to-lovers romance between two co-stars on a popular sci-fi television series. Simon and Charlie, actors on a long-running sci-fi show, can't stand one another. Charlie's impetuous, outgoing, and basically feral, and Simon thinks he should have stayed in reality television where he belongs. They spent the better part of a decade quarreling over the spotlight and pretty much everything else, and everybody in the industry knows it. But now that Simon's contract is finally over, he can move to New York, start fresh with work he actually likes, and get away from Charlie. Simon's only problem is that people might assume he's been pushed off the show due to being impossible to work with. And he is kind of difficult to work with. He doesn't get along with people, unlike Charlie, who somehow tricked everyone on the show into adoring him despite some outrageously bad on-set behavior during the show's first season. Simon would rather never have to see Charlie again, but he reluctantly agrees to stage a very public friendship during the short time before he moves. This means that when Charlie has to leave town to deal with a family emergency, Simon comes along. Their road trip brings Simon to places he would never have willingly chosen to visit, and he finds he's actually not having a terrible time. The more he gets to know Charlie, the more Simon suspects he's underestimated his former coworker. Simon also realizes that after 7 years, Charlie might know him better than anyone else ever has. Even stranger, Charlie seems to be starting to actually like him, despite knowing him so well. Still, Simon is about to move 3,000 miles away, so whatever's starting between him and Charlie can't really amount to anything, right? I mean, I think it sounds cute. I don't think it's the most exciting sounding thing. So, we'll see. I'm really underwhelmed by the cover of it. Now, since I forgot, I'm going to go back and read, in case you haven't heard of the Mystical Cat Shelter. A woman who runs a cat rescue in 1920s Montreal turns to a grouchy but charming magician to help save her shelter in this heartwarming, cozy fantasy from the New York Times bestselling author of Emily Wilde. Agnes Aubert leads a meticulously organized life, and she likes it that way. As a proudly Type A manager of a cat rescue charity, she's devoted her life to finding forever homes for stray cats. Now it's a shelter that needs a new home, and the only landlord who will rent a space to a cat rescue is a mysterious man called Havelock, who also happens to be the world's most infamous magician, running an illegal magic shop out of his basement. Havelock is cantankerous and eccentric, but not handsome. And no, Agnes absolutely does not feel anything but disdain for him. After all, rumors swirl about his shadowy past, including whispers that his dark magic once almost brought about the apocalypse. Then, one day, a glamorous magician comes looking for Havelock, putting the magic shop and the cat shelter in jeopardy. To save the shelter, Agnes will have to team up with a magician who nearly ended the world, and may now be trying to steal her heart. Havelock is everything Agnes thinks she doesn't need in her life: chaos, mischief, and a little too much adventure. But as she gets to know him, she discovers that he's more than the dark magician of legend, and that she may be ready for a little intrigue and romance in her life. After all, second chances aren't just for rescue cats. I think that sounds adorable. That one I am excited about. Now, on to the illumicrate book. I don't think I've heard of this one either. I have so many boxes I need to get cleaned up. Okay. Aicha? I am so sorry if I'm like butchering that. Why does the plastic seem really bad quality lately? Okay. This almost looks like a Egyptian? I have no idea. So Aicha by Soraya. Oh, I don't want to butcher your name. Bouzawi? This is the front. I mean, it looks beautiful. The edges they're like, okay. There's nothing like crazy about them, but they do look very pretty. This does not have a reversible dust jacket. The hardcover, I started with like, this is gorgeous, and then I really focus in to what's going on, so you can see it's very glossy on the edges, and then I saw this, and I wasn't ready. And this is the back. This is art. This is almost looks like a mummy retelling. I don't know why it's giving me that, but it is. Very intriguing. I really like the artwork. I think the artwork is very well done. I do like the glossy cover. Does this have a signature? No. It does not. It does have just the letter, a printed letter with the printed signature kind of on that. And then it immediately starts with an author's note and trigger warnings. So this says, Temptress Monster Warrior. The Portuguese flag has been planted across Morocco, its empire ruling with an iron fist. But eventually all empires must fall. Aisha, the daughter of a Moroccan freedom fighter, was born for battle. She has witnessed the death of her people, their starvation, and torture at the hands of the occupiers, and it has awakened an anger within her, an anger that burns hot and bright and speaks to Aisha's soul. Only Aisha's secret lover, Rashid, a rebellion leader, knows how to soothe her, but as the fight for Morocco's freedom reaches its violent climax, the creature that simmers beneath Aisha's skin begs to be unleashed. It hungers for the screams of those who have caused her pain, and it will not be ignored. Aisha tells the tale of Morocco's warrior goddess, her strange magic, vicious rebellion, and devastating romance. This is a story of female rage and lesser-known myths that will sear you to the bone. This sounds phenomenal. Okay, so slight interruption. As I was going to edit all of those clips, obviously these two decided to show up in the mail. So, perfect timing, we can add the fairyloot 3-book box and the owlcrate box to the video. We'll just clip that over there. Obviously you can see I was organizing and going to put away a lot of the other books. But now I can just focus on the books I get for my birthday, on any additional ones for March. So, for fairyloot, ooh, paper. So we obviously already know what one is because I already have it. So we're just going to go to the bottom where the YA one is, which is going to be the young adult fantasy, The Sun and the Star Maker. I'm not even going to open it because we literally have it right here because I've got the full box, so I didn't think to cancel one of them. It's fine. So for the adult fantasy box, it is Forbidden Bargains. I don't think I've heard of this. It is called Weaving Shaw by Heba Velocity. Interesting. So there's a front. It looks very... Here's the reverse. I do like the reverse dust jacket too. It's very like simple, but pretty good. And it says, until she saw her first glimpse of weaving Shaw, Lena didn't believe in monsters. And then we've got the naked hardcover. A lot of nice foiling. My cat is coming. Hi, buddy. You guys have seen our dogs, but this is Lucky. So we're probably gonna pick at that. And then our sprayed edges. Nice. Is this one? He's probably gonna eat breakfast. So sorry if you hear crunching, but not sorry. We do have a signature. This is our end paper. I'm like doing this all out of order. I was gonna go do something else this morning and then was like, I really want to know what these books are. And our back one. Ooh, a masquerade. This is getting very like gothic. So let's see. Nothing this lovely could be cursed. The Saint of Silence trades coins for every sordid divulgence uttered to him. The darker the secret, the higher the price. Lena has a secret, one that has haunted her since she was 17. She can see the dead. When her brother falls ill, she knows what she must do. This is falling all over the place. Seek the saint. But Lena's secret is more valuable to the saint than she could have imagined. To save her brother, she must make a deal with him to find the ghost she's searching for. All paths lead to Weaving Shaw. a cursed estate on the moors. As Lena grows closer to the St. Silas, and she is plunged further into this world of danger, deceit, and desire, she learns that he is hiding his own secrets, ones that have the power to destroy them all. So, I wouldn't say this is like, would I buy this in a store reading that? Maybe not. The cover is not something that would immediately jump out to me, but we'll see. And then for the, I have heard of this one, for the adult romantasy box, we have Half City, which I have seen that one kind of everywhere. This is in the bag differently, so like, so got the front. The back says, keep your daggers sharp and your wits even sharper. I will say this cover is damaged. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's like this bent line and it like continues here. So there's a book. The book is a little damaged too. Fairyloot, you're disappointing me. So like, look at this. What? Fairyloot. What is this? It's like scrunched here. So if you can see, like super deep bend there. This is just absolute mayhem. That was just like miscut. Like you can't even read that section. So at least on this side, like that bend is hidden. But if you look at this side, it like distorts the image. So, well, that's disappointing. That bothers me. This cover was so damaged. Okay. And here's the hard cover. So here's the front. There's a little bend right here, but nice foiling. Otherwise, it's very pretty. Like the sprayed edges are nice. But like, I don't know, it just really bothers me. Cute. And the back end page, also very nice. I do like the artwork of this. I really like the naked hardcover. The dust jacket is just absolutely trashed. And I don't know, I had another dust jacket that after I was reading it, or not even the dust jacket, the actual book, like just holding it, all of the writing faded away. Anyway, so let's look and see, is there an actual signature? There is a printed one next to a graphic page, which is nice. So this is obviously going to be a series. This is book 1. It says, welcome to Harker Academy for Deviant Defense. Keep your dagger sharp and your wits even sharper. Viv Abbott is an average 21-year-old girl. She lives in an expensive city where the rent is too high, works long hours at a thankless job, and is dating a guy she doesn't even like in the hopes of winning her prickly mother's approval. She also happens to be a demon hunter. Ever since her father's murder, she's been forced to hunt deviants alone, meaning everyone, including her family, sees her as an outsider, until the day she crosses paths with a dangerously alluring demon. Read Graveheart. The reformed deviant tells her of a school for people just like her, Harker Academy for Deviant Defense. If she enrolls, she'll learn to hone her craft, work with other hunters, and never be alone again. But Viv has a deadly secret, one that not even her new friends at Harker can know about, not if the school might hold the answers to untangling the mystery surrounding Viv's father's death. When strange occurrences begin to plague the students, Viv will have to figure out who she can trust, all while trying to ace her classes, avoid falling for a demon, and make it through her first year at Harker in one piece. How hard could that be? I feel like those secrets always end up being like someone is half of what they're hunting, so she's like gonna be like half demon. That's just my guess. But that's just me. My cat's like creeping around. And then we have our owlcrate YA with item. I was really disappointed in last month's box, and I have been debating if I'm going to keep both the fairyloot with items and the owlcrate, or just fairyloot. if this is a duplicate book of another box, I'm done, because this has been like a repeat occurrence. Tissue, paper, stuff. Okay. On top, we have a Study in Drowning hair clip. I have yet to actually read A Study in Drowning. I did read A Fable at the End of the World by Ava Reed, and I really enjoyed it. Ooh. It's like a little... It is very interesting. It's like a little key. It actually feels like it's a little stiff, but decent quality. I don't have a lot of hair. I have very fine hair, which often falls out of clips, but I will try that. These all have like a very toiletry set inspired by a deadly education. It's like a little box. A toiletry set? Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, well it's not, is it broken? Oh no, okay. There was only me to save me. I have not heard of deadly education, but it's a cute little container and a little button push. I actually really like that. That 1000% will be used in Travel With Me. Okay, owlcrate, we're already better than last month. Blade 3 of 5. Did I miss one? Wait, is this a March box? Okay, well, spoiler, I thought this was February's box finally showing up. This is March. This isn't even February. Like, so we still have another one that is shipping at some point eventually because there's issues with it. Because I was like, I feel like we just had the first one. This is inspired by The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I have not read that yet. It's on my list of books that I want to buy. But it's cute. And then I got crinkled everywhere. What is this? I don't use these, but I will say this is inspired by Twilight. And as we can see, I do have a special place for Twilight. So this is a bowl cozy. How is this inspired by Twilight? It's a wolf and a chess piece. Okay, it's very subtle, and I was like, how would I even connect that? But it's just a little bowl cozy. So if you're holding something that's hot. I don't really ever use those, but oh, here we go. Kara's Perfume, Sweet Almond and Wood Smoke. Solid Perfume. What is this inspired by? There's never a card in here, so the only reason I knew this was a March box is because it says it on the pin. But Kara's Solid Perfume. I mean, it's okay. It's nothing to like rave about. And then the book for this month is The Gravewood. So definitely not a repeat. Where did I just had it. Okay, there it is. I also just hurt this book. I have to stop using that knife to do this. Like, that one's my own fault. That's not them. That was me being an idiot. Don't come for me. I didn't mean to. Okay. So we have Gravewood by Kelly Andrew. And it says, better light a candle, better light two. The trees are watching closely and they might snatch you. That is a different, a YA fantasy is not how I envision this. It does have the ribbon bookmark. It has decent sprayed edges. It's very lightweight. The book itself is cute. No one comes back from the Gravewood alive. It's got a very Cabin 13 esque vibe to it, or like the Blair Witch trial. Oh. He thinks he loved her right then. Isn't that the way all tragedies begin? And then the front says, from the fount of the forest comes the age of the beast. I don't know. It's pretty, but I don't know if it's like screaming to me that I'm gonna love it. Oh my goodness. Put it back together. And then end paper 1. So it's definitely got some vampire aspects of it. Maybe why there's some Twilight in here. And then the back, like the artwork's interesting. I don't know if I love the character art. Let's see. It is a genuinely like Sharpie signed book though, so that's nice. And it says, the woods will swallow her whole. Shay Parker has lived her life in the shadow of the Gravewood, an impassable forest that cuts off her town from the rest of the world. With supplies scarce, Shay is forced to carefully ration her hearing aid batteries. Oh. Where her stash runs out, she'll be left in the silence. Desperate, Shay turns to Oliver Lysander, the volatile leader of a vampire gang that rules the Gravewood. The arrangement between Shay and Lysander is simple. She gives him her blood, he tracks down batteries. They don't cross any lines, they don't make it personal despite their growing attraction. But when Shay's best friend is lured into the Gravewood, that delicate balance is broken for good. Eager to keep her in the dark with him, the opportunistic Lysander renegotiates the terms of their deal. If Shay agrees to turn, Lysander will help her navigate the carnivorous Gravewood. For the first time ever, Shay finds herself leaving home. Swallowed up in the dreamlike dark of the Gravewood and traveling in the company of killers, it isn't long before she risks becoming one herself. I mean, it sounds interesting. It definitely looks a lot darker than I typically gravitate towards, but it sounds interesting. I think I'm just like still a little burned by the You Weren't Meant to Be Human. I DNF'd that book at 40 pages. Like, I hated it. And something about this kind of gives me the same vibe, but it's most likely really wrong. But anyways, that is the 3-book box from Fairyloot and the owlcrate YA with items. And now we'll finish out whatever else I was doing in the other clip. Now, the final owlcrate with items box that we are going to get for a while. This one did not take super long to get off of the waitlist for. So, oh my gosh, the corner was crushed. Peek first. Oh. Alright, so this is actually February's box. So in the last video, I thought I was opening February's box because February was so late. I finally got it. So now we have Blade number 2. I don't know why this is so delayed. And this is Blades of Love. This is inspired by Powerless. So I've said it before, I bought Powerless before I knew that it was an absolute ripoff of Red Queen. And I do plan to do a side-by-side read. So I am a little bit frustrated if like that is a known controversy. Why did you pick that as someone that you were going to promote instead of promoting like the Red Queen and making a blade out of that instead? But I digress. I can't talk. Then we have the Phantom of the Opera book pot. Sounds so cute. Which I did get from their classics book sale, The Phantom of the Opera, because I wanted to read it because I love the movie. Oh, that is so... It has a little face that says, "Let your soul take you where you long to be." So it's the front. Super cute. Probably put, I don't know what I'll put in there yet. That is gonna go somewhere up here. This says owlcrate Bookish Tarot. Are they trying to just be Fairyloot now? What is this? I'm so confused because they didn't do this in the next box, so it's not like it was a series. But we've got main character. I'll show you the back of the next one. This is the back. And then librarian. I think it's focusing. And then enemies to lovers. I don't know if that's like shit. Anyways, I'll put that closer. Enemies to lovers. I mean, if you were gonna make a whole series of this, that would have been great. But you just gave me 3 cards of nothingness. I don't know. I think I have a baseline irritation right now for them. Anyways. And then we have fantasy artist markers. Crafted for the lovers of other realms and fantasy, these double-sided artist markers are a perfect gateway to creating your own world. Use them to color in your owlcrate bookish tarot deck or for any of your magical artist needs. Oh, these are nice. Which, that's cute. They felt like they could be colored, but are these alcohol markers? Oh, they have quotes on them. Featuring quotes from the Night Circus, Hunger Games, Scorpio Races, A Deadly Encounter, and The Prison Healer. Interesting. I think they're alcohol based. I haven't read a lot of those books, so I have not read the Scorpio Races. And it's just this Katniss, the girl who was on fire. Like, can we pick a better quote? Like, the Hunger Games has so many good statements, and you go with Katniss, the girl on fire. I don't know. I feel like that's just disrespectful. You know? Okay. I mean, I think that's neat. I'll definitely use them. Again, is this going to be like every 15 boxes you get a tarot? I don't know. And this says, the finest of pleasures are always the unexpected ones. What is this? I am excited for the book. I'm excited for the book. The theme is very well done. What is this? Oh, is this an apron? The Night Circus apron. I was thrown off because this is kind of fuzzy. Okay, first off, owlcrate, get your together with this suit. Like, there's just loose threads. This is very poorly made and very cheaply made. And it's just like a raw edge. This is not gonna last long. I think it's cute. This is not worth your money. There's like more loot. Oh, it just came right out. There's strings pulling out of it. Like, it's okay, but it's cheap. Anyways, I said what I said. And the book, the thing I'm excited for, is a stage set for villains. I saw so many people get the ARC for this, and people have been loving it. The Phantom of the Opera black and red theme really is making sense. And I appreciate that they actually have a pretty coherent theme for once, because I feel like sometimes this box is all over the place. Now, while I enjoy this, I'm excited for this book, do I think that you should pay your hard-earned money, especially with the economy in this moment? Absolutely not. Don't give them your money. This box is not worth it. They would need to overhaul so many things to make it feel worth it, because right now it definitely does not. So we have a stage set for villains by Shannon Span. You can be a great many things, dear heart, but you cannot be fewer. And I think this is like very Phantom of the Opera vibes. I think the sprayed edges are beautiful. Very different. It's like a playbill. Okay, I do like how they've done this. To die is to be forgotten. I imagine the world will never forget me. Life is a performance. You might as well be applauded for it. So I do like the front facing much better. I love that this is a Playhouse Presents a stage set for villains, and that the hardback book looks like a playbill. I absolutely love that. Excellent attention to detail. You rarely hit the nail on the head, owlcrate, but you did this time. Then we've got, this is one end, and this is our other. So I do like the artwork. The end pages like aren't my favorite artwork, but I still think it's done very, very well. Let's see. This looks like a true signed tip-in, so beautifully done. This says, the gods are dead, all that's left are the players. The performers of the Playhouse are as worshipped as they are feared. Their enchanting shows bending hearts, minds, and even reality itself. Vicious, godlike, lethal, 18-year-old Riven Hesper knows the dangers better than anyone, after her own encounter with a player resulted in a curse that is slowly killing her. When the Playhouse announces the spectacle of a lifetime, a chance for one mortal to steal a player's immortality, Riven sees her last chance to live. Desperate for answers, she infiltrates the competition. There she finds Jude, the Playhouse's brilliant, merciless lead player, whose charm is as dangerous as his craft, and strikes a deadly bargain to save her life. But with time running out and the Playhouse's secret unraveling into a disturbing picture, Riven faces a grim possibility. She might not be the hero of her story after all. In fact, she may be the villain. Because the Playhouse doesn't just tell stories, it rewrites them, and Riven's might end in blood. This sounds like a really good time. And then finally, we have the March fairyloot. I will say this is one of the quickest fairyloots I have gotten. It arrived I think it's March. Or is this April's? I don't know, we're gonna find out. You pick first. Well, okay, you can see paper. This is March. All right, so I think this is inspired by Night and the Moth. So good thing I got the book now. It's so pretty. This is the Night and the Moth e-reader sleeve. My e-reader is not this big. My e-reader would fit like here, but I am thinking of changing to a Kobo color. So nice quality, feels well cushioned. Fairyloot makes appropriate items. We have the Air of Storms embroidery kit. I love these. I want to learn how to do embroidery. And I don't know, I can't remember. I don't think I got it. I could be losing my mind. I can't remember if we got Air of Thorns. I don't know. But I love a good craft. That is a very useful, practical, fun thing to do. Have the Immortal Consequences monthly memo pad. If you follow me on other social media like TikTok, I loved Immortal Consequences. Absolutely loved it. Ranted, raved, absolutely loved. That's beautiful. That is a whole lot of months, and it is undated, just a blank desk calendar. Thank you. Stationary people, like, you understand. Like, please don't give me a dated thing because, good grief, I will not use it in time, and then it'll be bad, and then I've just wasted paper. And then we have Caraval foiled bookmarks. I have Caraval, but I haven't read it yet. So you're gonna see these before maybe I can hold them. So I got this one, and then this is the back. I think very well done. As a legend, these will all make sense to me after I read it. Julian. I do really like the artwork. Jax. And there's more. Donatella. I thought there was one less than there was. And Scarlet. I really like the artwork of these. These will make more sense to me after I read the books. But they're beautiful. And then we've got the overlays. So the book is Her Hidden Fire. And we'll get to that. We've got the monthly bookmark and the monthly artwork that goes with it. And for this month's tarot cards, we have the moon and the sun. I do really enjoy these. I think these are very nice. So, for the book, I love green. So I love the color scheme. I do not know how to say Irish names, but Her Hidden Fire, oh, this is so pretty. Her magic, his love, the world won't let her have both. I say no more. But gorgeous front, really like the back. The edges, absolutely beautiful. This is why I will keep Fairyloot, because Fairyloot, they just make better books. But the problem is, they also attach things just by the end paper. Better, but still attach it. And then this is the alternative, so I'm guessing very similar to the original, just in different color wave. Naked hardback, also very beautiful cliffs. Love. I really like the artwork. I think it is very well done. And as I expected, she is from Ireland, the author. So I always mess up Irish names, and so I don't want to butcher it. And then let's see, as for signatures, there is a very distinct, separate type of paper signed with a pen. That's great. So they sent out a survey to see if people like the printed ones or the hand-signed ones. I'm hoping, because it means more, obviously it means the most if you go get it signed in person, like you take the book to them and they sign it. But if you can just auto print signatures, it kind of takes some of the specialness out of it, like the author didn't touch a part of the book. And that to me feels very special. But anyways, welcome to Domhain. I think that's how you say it. A world where dragons soar the skies and elite families wield magical powers. The ruling family of Aelm's Keep is on a knife edge. Heir apparent Eonin, I don't know, must show that he can channel magic or they will be cast out and replaced. Then Ada, I'm assuming I'm saying that right, a servant girl who loves him, discovers that she can draw power herself. This puts her in grave danger. It's extremely rare for a girl to have this talent, especially outside the great families. At his moment of truth, she makes a desperate gamble, a trick, I'm not saying the name because I don't want to butcher him, a trick to save him, Aelm's Keep, and herself. But how long can this ruse last? Sent to the very heart of the Master's control, they enter a whirlwind of patriarchy, class, heartache, and jealousy. Here they learn about power's terrible human cost, a price others willingly pay to maintain theirs. How far would you go to empower the one you love? I'm sorry, I'm like leaning as I'm talking. I'm just so sore. That does not smell good. I don't know why I smelled that. That smelled really bad, actually. But anyways, oh, I almost forgot. I set this off to the side. My room is a mess right now. We have the artwork, which I think the artwork looks very beautiful. I'm not gonna look too closely because I don't want it to ruin anything for me, but I will let you guys peek. I'm just gonna make sure, and then we're back that one. Okay. Anyways, that is all of our March boxes and our last official unboxing. I will put up here exactly kind of where our physical TBR stands, which will be after I've scanned everything in. This is very exciting. I am so appreciative and beyond blessed and excited to have the friends and family I have that spoiled me absolutely rotten with all the books that they got me. And now I have something to get through, which is really hard in a month that I haven't read it all yet. And you can probably hear Becky in the background growling because he also is angry. He thinks, and he is right, that it is dinner time for him. So, so I'm gonna go feed them, but thank you guys for being here. Sorry that all my stuff is so late. This will hopefully go up pretty quickly after I filmed it. I hear you, they hear you. I know. If you can't tell, he's a husky. Anyway, thank you for being here. So happy to have you. We're gonna do some different style videos in order to help replace some of these book buying ones. I have old reviews and things that I need to get up and get posted, but thank you for being here. Hope to give you so much more in the future. And as always, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, or things that you're really excited about, or your thoughts on some of these books, please let me know. If there are any of my book haul that you really enjoy or don't enjoy, please let me know why down in the comments. But as always, thanks guys. Bye.